Hello, my name is Georgina and this is Charles. We are from the iLiving Group and we are specialists in commercial to residential conversions.
So another thing to consider with purchasing commercial residential buildings is the provision of services in terms of utilities into the building already. So typically when you're purchasing an office building, it can have a good source of utilities or services into the building already. And a lot of people generally think that yes, those services will be sufficient for the apartments that I want to put into there. And in some instances it is the case, but in others it isn't. So I just want to walk you through how we sort of structure the utilities and services here, because it's a long story. Every project is always different, as we know. But here we knew that we had a three-phase supply into two sides of the building, which in terms of electric, and we're talking about electric to start with, is a good amount of supply to supply the 6 apartments that we were putting in here, and it was sufficient to power them. We knew that, we purchased it on that basis. What transpired was that actually the supply that was coming to the building was a three-phase supply, and it was sufficient to power it. However, when Western Power came to move the supply, it was an older supply and their regulations required them to actually install a new supply. So it was something that we hadn't been able to factor in to start with, and we didn't consider, because we assumed that we were able to reuse the three-phase supply, but we had to install a new three-phase supply. So that comes with additional costs and additional sort of mechanics in terms of installing that, which is fine. We have a contingency built in for those kind of things, but you can never sort of second guess utilities, and it's always one of the most difficult things that we find is installing services and utilities, isn't it? The other thing to consider, I mean, when you're going into an office building, normally the electricity supply is often enough to supply whatever sort of residential scheme that you're wanting to put in, because often you have a higher grade of electric coming into a commercial building. Now, where you sometimes say, yeah, it's probably going to be okay with electric, people forget about the water supply and potentially gas supply, putting gas into a building. So, for example, here at Durham Court, again, we had 3 incoming main supplies for water, which was great, but we were installing 6 apartments into this building, and we therefore needed to install another 3 supplies to ensure that they had enough power and water into the apartments that we needed. There's a lot of showers and en-suites in this building. We didn't want to compromise on the sort of usability for tenants with high pressure shower heating. So that was something we had to factor in. We knew that this was the case at the beginning, but again, when you're looking at a commercial building, it's something to factor in and something to look at and make sure that you tick those boxes, because electric generally can be okay, but don't forget about water. And also if you're using gas, which we still sometimes do use, we're transitioning to electric more and more now, gas is the same thing. This building only had 3 gas supplies into the building again, of which 1 was cut off and 2 were on a commercial supply. And that also causes a headache, which is potentially a whole other video to go through, how to change from the commercial to the residential supplies and metering, etc. But again, it's ensuring that you sort of put a contingency in place for these kinds of things and know what you're going to be working with, and always put a little bit of extra time in for getting services and utilities installed.
A lot of extra time might be needed.
Yes.
Thank you for watching our video. If you liked what you saw, please feel free to get in touch and send us a direct message. We look forward to hearing from you.